This educational video is developed by Imed Dami and Thomas Tadero at The Ohio State University to demonstrate a series of best viticulture practices, define what they are, and how, why, and when they're conducted in the vineyard. In this video, we will define and demonstrate grapevine canopy management practices. According to Dr. Richard Smart, author of Sunlight into Wine, canopy management is the practice which results in the modification of amount or position of leaves, shoot, and fruit in space to achieve a desired arrangement. To fully understand the concept of canopy management, we must first understand what the vine canopy is. The vine canopy is the shoot system, which includes the stem, leaves, and fruit clusters, and is described by its length, height, width, leaf area, and shoot density. Canopy management is applied to grapevines every year with the following purposes: to maximize sunlight interception, which minimizes shading, and to maintain vine balance between shoot growth and fruit production. Benefits of canopy management include increased air movement in and around the shoot system, which leads to faster drying time from rain and dew, and thus less disease pressure. Improved spray penetration and disease control. Improved yield and fruit quality. Increased bud fruitfulness, and improved winter hardiness. There are 5 major steps which are performed during the growing season, ranging from early spring, when shoots are 1 to 3 inches long, up to midsummer during fruit ripening, also known as veraison. It should be noted that some cultivars require all 5 steps, others require fewer, and certain cultivars require a repeat of some of the 5 steps. Also, the growing season plays a major role in canopy management, in that dry summers require fewer canopy management practices than wet summers. The 5 major steps of canopy management should serve as fundamental practices, which the grower will have to fine-tune according to their cultivar, site, season, and their own experience. And all are conducted based on key stages of development of shoots and fruit. We will describe each step of canopy management chronologically and based on berry stage development. Step 1 in canopy management is trunk and cordon suckering. Trunk and cordon suckering, which is also called cordon shoot thinning, consists of the removal of suckers, which are defined as unwanted shoots that grow on the trunk or cordon. Trunk and cordon shoot thinning are conducted every year with the following purposes. Trunk suckering redirects nutrients and growth to retained shoots and fruit and improves the vineyard aesthetics. When trunk suckering in sites prone to cold, disease, or mechanical damage, leave 1 or 2 suckers at the trunk base, as trunk replacement is probable. Trunk suckering is best done early in the season when shoots are 1 to 3 inches long. Cordon shoot thinning is the removal of shoots on the cordon. Once cordon shoot thinning is completed, fruitful shoots should be retained and evenly spaced and have a density of 4 to 6 shoots per foot of cordon or canopy. Step 2 in canopy management is shoot positioning. Shoot positioning consists of orienting shoots into a vertical position and parallel to the trunk to create a uniform distribution of foliage that minimizes shading of the leaves and fruit. In low training systems, such as low cordon, with vertical shoot positioning, also known as VSP, the practice is generically referred to as tucking because shoots are tucked upward between catch wires. In order to maintain vertical position of shoots, clips could be used on the catch wires. In high training systems, such as high cordon, with vertical downward shoot positioning, the practice is generically referred to as combing, because shoots are combed in the vertical downward position. Timing is critical for reducing the amount of shoot breakage and ease of positioning. Shoot positioning is best done as soon as possible after bloom, but before tendrils have become firmly attached, as bud development begins at about that time and sunlight exposure is critical for bud fruitfulness. For best results, 2 or 3 shoot positioning passes per year may be required. When combing shoots and you notice shoots break off of the canes or spurs from which they originate, that means they are not ready to be combed, and it is recommended to wait 7 to 10 days for the base of the shoots to lignify before attempting combing again. Step 3 in canopy management is cluster thinning. Cluster thinning is the removal of flower and/or grape clusters on the grapevine. In cool climate wine-growing regions, cluster thinning is often required for certain cultivars that have the propensity to overcrop and to aid in fruit ripening due to limited season and heat units. Cluster thinning is a type of crop restriction and is done for the following purposes: to control yield and avoid overcropping, to improve quality, and this allows the grower to modify vine balance. Cluster thinning is conducted in either of 2 periods: before bloom, also called pre-bloom, or after fruit set, also called post-fruit set. Choosing which period to cluster thin is dependent on cultivar, desired yield, and fruit quality goals. For more information on the advantages and disadvantages of pre-bloom and post-fruit set cluster thinning, or any other canopy management practice, please see the additional resources at the end of this video. When the vine canopy fills 75% of the trellis space, the following rule of thumb for cluster thinning can be used as a general guideline. Remove all clusters from shoots less than 12 inches long. Leave 1 cluster on shoots 12 to 24 inches long, and leave 2 clusters on shoots greater than 24 inches long. Step 4 in canopy management is leaf removal. Leaf removal, also called leaf pulling, consists of the removal of 1 to 4 basal leaves to expose fruit. Leaf removal is done on the cool side of the canopy, which is either the east side of a north-south row or the north side of an east-west row. Leaf removal is first performed after fruit set. 1 more cleanup pass may be necessary before veraison. However, it is important to avoid leaf removal after veraison, as the sudden exposure to the sun may lead to fruit sunburn. Leaf removal can also be conducted before bloom to control yield, with similar response as to cluster thinning. The 5th step of canopy management is shoot trimming. Shoot trimming is the cutting of shoots that grow beyond the allocated space in a given trellis system in order to control shoot length. It is called hedging for upward shoot training such as VSP. Shoot trimming is called skirting for downward shoot training, such as high cordon system. Generally, a minimum of 12 to 15 leaves per shoot should be left after trimming in order to mature fruit and wood. In low cordon systems, like VSP, shoots that grow beyond the trellis system can hang downward, thus shading the fruit zone. High cordon systems do not usually require skirting unless chute tips interfere with machinery traffic in the row middles. Chute hedging is performed when chutes grow beyond the trellis space and desired length, about 4 feet for VSP, and the amount of summer rain will determine the number of hedging passes, typically 1 to 3 passes. However, do not trim shoots after veraison, because this may result in delayed fruit ripening and reduced wood maturity, and thus winter hardiness. This educational video was made possible with the support of the Department of Horticulture and Crop Science, the Ohio Grape Industries Committee, and the United States Department of Agriculture and the National Institute of Food and Agriculture.